What's going on, everyone? This is Liam Coleman. I'm back, and in today's video, I'm going to be doing a review on the DJI Air 3. This drone was released on July 25th of 2023 last year, and here we are. I actually bought this drone in September of last year, 2 months after it came out on the 24th. And at that point, it was around $1,600, and it still stands around there. I believe it's around like $1,500 with a Fly More pack. I'm charging up the controller now. I plan on taking it out for a spin after I do my review. My first drone was the original Mavic Mini. This was given to me from a friend who had a wedding rental company, so I flew that around. I eventually got my own Mini 2, flew that for a couple years, loved it, and then at a couple weddings I was able to fly the Mavic Pro. But anyways, the Air 3 is what I believe to be the perfect drone in 2024. It still stands the test of time from when it was released a year ago from today, in my mind, for many reasons. And this video is just going to be breaking down my review of it. So the best feature of this drone by far that I want to start off with is the fact that it has two cameras. It has a 24mm wide camera, and it also has a 70mm medium telephoto lens. Most of the drone videos that you see are shot on a wide lens. The Mini 4 Pro, the Mini 3, Air 2, all of these drones all have a wide lens. The eye is very used to seeing that look. It's almost getting oversaturated. What really separates this drone apart for me is the ability to shoot in that tighter medium telephoto look with the second lens, and the fact that it doesn't lose quality when you use that 3x zoom. Of course, you could zoom in or, crop the sensor in like the Mini or any other drones that have strictly the wide lens, but you're losing quality. You're hindering the actual quality of your video. With the Air 3, you're able to get the same quality with the wide as you would with the tight. I saw online a couple of reviews saying that a big pro for the Air 3 was it has the same color science behind both lenses, whereas in the Mavic 3 Pro, if you're color grading your footage, each one's gonna look different just because of the actual dynamic range of each. With this one, you don't have to worry about that. You can just apply, copy and paste the same color grade on your footage, whether you're shooting with the wide or the tight. Another great thing about the 70mm lens is the parallax effect that you get with it when you are panning on your subject. I'll show you an example in the video. I did a shot like this in a music video, and I have seen it come up in a couple other music videos. There are these tracking features in the drone that I'm gonna touch on later in the video, but essentially what you can do is you can track your subject and have it doing like an orbit around it. For the amount of money that it costs you, it is a absolutely superior drone to me, simply because of the dual lens system. So next up, we have actual sensor size. Now, when this first came out, there was a lot of negative feedback on the sensor size because it was actually a downgrade. It has a 1/1.3 inch sensor, which is smaller than the previous drone in the Air series. The 2S had a full 1-inch sensor, and this scared a lot of people away from the Air 3 when it first came out. This is by far the more advanced piece of technology, having faster readout times and having denser megapixels, a 48 megapixel as opposed to 20 megapixel from the previous Air, and it is extremely well in low light. It does have night mode on it, which I have tried a couple times. The next feature that I have, which is also having to do with the camera, is the ability to shoot in D-Log-M. So I can't speak too much on any of the other drones that it is in competition with, but I know previously other drones that just spit an image out of the sensor. This one has D-Log-M capabilities, which basically means you're able to have much more flexibility in the post-production color grade. It essentially neutralizes the colors, having it kind of grade out so you can add back in the contrast and the saturation in post. And I will definitely show you what I mean by this, but this was another huge selling point for me in getting the drone, was it having this 10-bit D-Log-M picture profile format. Since I've been using it, it has been so fun to color grade. You just want to make sure that you always do nail the exposure so you can get the colors right. So the actual flight distance that you get with this thing is 20 kilometers, which is about 12.5 miles, which is absolutely insane. Obviously, that means with no obstructions, no obstacles in the way. If you're just in an open, completely visible line of sight. You can go that far. I don't think it's actually possible because I don't think you'd be able to fly that far without, you know, the drone dying. The 04 unit inside the drone, the transmission, I don't know too much about the technical part of that, but it is the newest, and it is only in the Air 3 and the Mini 4 Pro. Those two drones in the DJI line, as far as I know, are the most advanced in technology up to this date. They can go the farthest, they have the best transmission, the best signal when you're flying. I truly can attest to that because compared to my FPV drone or the Mini 2 or the Mavic 3, the signal, I've never lost signal, maybe lost a bar or two, but the range on this thing is absolutely insane. So potentially a negative here is it does not have true vertical shooting like the Mini 3 and the Mini 4 Pro do have. The Mini 3 and the Mini 4 Pro, the actual camera on it will tilt vertically, and this one will not. However, it will shoot vertical footage in 2.7K. It just won't be true vertical, meaning the gimbal and the lens will not tilt to that vertical aspect ratio. It will switch to 4:3, which is obviously going to be 9:16, and it will crop that for you. Turning a negative into a positive, actually, when you're looking on the controller, it will just darken the edges and just show your vertical, as opposed to the Mini 3 or 4, where it will completely crop out the borders. So all you're seeing is the vertical image, which is good for framing it up, but in a sense, it's better so you can see more wide, you can see what's around you. So the Powerbank, the Air 3, believe it or not, has the longest flight time of any DJI drone there is. A full 46 minutes of flight time per battery. So if you go with the Fly More pack, that is a total of 138 minutes of flight time you can get with this thing in one shoot if you swap out the batteries. Obviously, I haven't tested out the full 46 minutes. I've heard people get up to 43 minutes. It all depends on how fast you're moving and all of that good stuff. The fact that you can get over 2 hours flying with this drone is absolutely insane. Obviously not in one flight, with different batteries. And another thing that I found super helpful with the batteries here with the Fly More pack is this power bank. So you want to have a 100-watt USB-C charger to charge these quickly. If you don't, it's going to take a lot longer. The power bank will charge your phone if you're on the go. What I truly do love about these batteries and the actual power bank charging hub here, the ability for you to transfer the battery life of the other batteries into one. So let me just explain this and give you a quick scenario. So say if I'm out at a shoot, all the batteries are drained, you have probably like 20% in one, 17 in the other, 30 in one. It wouldn't make sense to throw each one in, fly it for like 2 or 3 minutes and then land the thing. What you can do is with all of these batteries in there at a low battery percentage, you can just hold this button here on the side and the batteries will transfer the power, the remaining juice on each of them, to one of them. That has helped me in a situation where I'm out, I can't charge. I will hold that down and it will transfer whatever's left onto that one and give you the maximum amount of flight time in one flight. Another really cool feature that this has is the 360 obstacle avoidance. So not only are there sensors in the front, not only are there sensors in the back, but there are also sensors on the bottom. And it is truly amazing to see how just safe this thing flies. You know, if I get anywhere close to a building or a tree, my controller starts beep, 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 beep. I just know that I'm getting close to something, and it's truly helpful. It almost gets annoying at times of how smart this thing is. There is a setting you can go into and turn obstacle avoidance off. I don't think I would ever do this, but if you do want to get in those tight areas, you can avoid that. So the next thing I have about the Air 3 is the wind resistance. So now this thing can handle winds up to speeds of 27 miles per hour or 14 meters per second. So it is capable of fighting strong winds much better than my Avata 2, the FPV drone, much better than any of the mini drones, right up to par with the Mavic series. It is quite a light drone. It is 720 grams, so the ability for this thing to fight the wind is truly amazing. So now the speed on this thing is phenomenal. So compared to other drones that I've flown, I always had a problem with it landing. It would just come too slow down. When it's time to land, it's time to land, you know what I mean? So this thing can go up to 22 miles per hour ascending or descending, which is very, very nice to have. And then at horizontal speeds, it has up to 47 miles per hour. So it's a very fast drone. Believe it or not, in normal mode, it actually goes faster than the Avata 2. So if you've seen my FPV videos on my channel, you have seen that I do fly in normal mode when I first launch the drone off. This actually flies faster than that in normal mode. It does have cinematic, normal, and sport mode. So cinematic will give you that nice slow flying, normal mode will give you right in between, and then sport mode, you will fly at that full 47 miles per hour. Just to keep in mind, when you are in sport mode, the obstacle avoidance is turned off, so just be sure to keep that in mind when you're flying. The actual bag that the drone comes with is great. This is something I didn't think I would be adding into the review, but it is very compact, very sleek. It comes with a whole bunch of spare propellers, which is great. I've already used a couple. I actually went ahead and went on the DJI store and was able to get some ND filters. So I know they're out of stock for a while, but I was finally able to get some. And these are essential because the sensor is at a fixed aperture. Most of your images are going to be overexposed. You don't want to compensate for that by boosting your shutter speed because your image will look kind of jittery and it won't feel natural or as cinematic as it can be. So if it's sunny out and you want to fly your drone, you're gonna need ND filters. It comes in a pack, ND 8, 16, 32, and 64. I have the 32 on it right now. It looks like it's a cloudy day out today, so we'd probably just go with something like an 8 or a 16. On a super sunny day, you'd wanna go with the 32 or the 64. You do have to get the ND filters separately. They do not come with the Fly More pack. I'm currently charging the controller, and as you can see, the green dots are moving very quickly. That means that I have the 100-watt charger charging it. So it charges faster than you would if you were to have a smaller charger. The controller is great. Just to compare to the last one, it was super inconvenient having to take my phone and put it on every time, strap it in just to get the drone up in the air with my Mini 2. Now I could listen to music or be on a phone call while I'm flying my drone. And it has this nice screen, which is just about the same size as my phone. Super high quality screen. These sticks actually are stored in the back, so you can just pop those out, screw them on. I've seen people with an actual case for their controller that attaches onto here, and they can kind of close it like a hood, and then when it opens up, it kind of deflects the sun, which is super helpful. I am thinking about getting one of those. These two antennas, you always want to pop out when you're flying to get the best signal. Very simple, you just pull them. Like I said, the OcuSync 4 transmission, the signal is phenomenal. I have had no problems losing connection with the Air 3. Another super cool feature that this bad boy has is it has a light at the bottom of it. It automatically comes on when it's dark out if you're landing. I think that would make for a really cool creative shot with the light on and the gimbal pointed straight down, almost like a helicopter is like chasing someone. I think that this Air 3 is the perfect drone for videography, mainly because of the D-Log-M picture profile, the 2 lenses, the tracking features it has that you can orbit around your subject, 60 frames per second so you can get that slow-mo. It's light, you can travel with it. All in all, this is just a fantastic drone, and I highly recommend it for everyone, especially for the price point. It truly, truly is an amazing piece of equipment, way more advanced than any of the other drones. For the transmission system, like I said, the 04 transmission, the obstacle avoidance, it's super safe. It isn't as noisy as other drones. It still does make a fair amount of noise, but it's not the noisiest. Yeah, I'm just super stoked about this drone. So with all that jibber jabber being said, what do you say we go out and fly the darn thing? Come on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I'm just switching out the ND filter. I'm throwing on the ND 8. All you need to do to change the ND filter is just twist it off. Twist and pull. Definitely gonna need to use 2 hands. And there it is. It just clicks right into place. So I think a good test here with the mic next to the drone is we're just gonna see how loud it is taking off. A lot of complaints I hear from people are how loud the drone is and how annoying it is. So I'll let you guys be the judges of that. All you have to do to take the drone off is tap this button on the left and then hold takeoff. Cool. like I was saying, the obstacle avoidance on this thing is spectacular, best in class. Let me start recording. And so now we are using that wide angle lens, the 24mm right now, that everyone's used to. So already you can tell that this is in normal mode and it is going faster than my Avata 2. It is cruising. The field of view is not nearly as wide as the Avatas. If I were to switch into cinematic mode, cine mode, slow speed, as you can see, we move much slower. It's a lot easier to get those slow moving shots. So I can tell these birds aren't too happy with me flying in their area. So let me just spin it around. So we are currently in 4K, 24 frames per second. It does have the capability to fly in 60 frames per second at 4K. So you can slow the footage down. But I just want a nice shot here. Flying close to the water. Here I'm going to switch over to the 70 just so I can show you what I was talking about. So if I tap on the 3 here at the top, you can see that the lens switches to that tighter medium telephoto lens. So if I were to start flying here, you can see it makes for a much more creative parallax effect. You can see the valley in the background. It has been 7 minutes already and we are at 79% battery life, which is insane. So that was our first test flight here at the reservoir. I hope you got a good test of the lens capabilities and how loud the thing is. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the quick shot features they have on top of the building over there. What is going on, my people? I am back. Traditionally, people like to jump off the top of this into the reservoir. We got some homies here already swimming. I think I'm gonna get some cinematic shots of them in the water. Hey, what's your guys' names? Oh yeah, I see your buddy all the way out there. My friend Jake here just told me that there's a DJI Spark. If any of you know about the DJI Spark, leave it in the comments. So we're just gonna get some cinematic shots here along the trees. Nice and low to the water. Just showing you guys the capabilities of this drone. Without crashing, of course. So there's the other guy coming, chugging along. Taking his time, breaststroke, excuse me. And there I am at the top. It's
Now what I want to show you guys is the tracking feature that this drone has. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna get nice and close. So you go to quick shots, and you get to pick what function you want the drone to do. So I'm gonna try out circle. I'm just gonna tap on myself, adjust the settings. So it's in 4K 60, so I'm gonna go shutter speed 120, tap on me. Great, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and hit start.
3,
I can drop the
2,
controller.
1.
And it should track me. And it should stop. Bingo. So that was a cool one. All right, let's try a different one. So that was circle. Let's do helix. Start.
3, 2, 1.
So it looks like it's circling and going up. Pretty cool. Again, no hands on the controller. DJI just knows what it's doing, and it should stop right around there. Yup. Pretty badass. All right, so that was helix. And then it comes and it returns exactly where it started, which is pretty nuts. So if you're shooting a music video, a wedding, you have your subject, and maybe you're not as comfortable on the sticks, DJI does it for you. So that was helix. We tried circle. Let's try asteroid. That sounds pretty cool. I would suggest keeping your hands on the controller just in case. It looks like it's gonna crash. Oh, it didn't detect me there. So boom, asteroid.
1.
Let's see what asteroid does. So it looks like it goes up and the gimbal kind of faces down. Not really a big fan of that. It's still kind of cool, but pretty basic. Probably could have done that with the thumbs. So I don't know what it's doing now. All right. Those were some of the quick shots that you can do with the Air 3. I usually don't use them, but I just want to show you what you can do by tracking your subject and having the drone move by itself. I think I'm gonna waste no time and jump on in there. Let's do this. All right. I truly hope you guys did enjoy watching the video as much as I did making this one. My drone is still just sitting in the air. Shout out to the Air 3. Such a reliable drone that gets the job done in any situation I put it in. I hope you guys were able to pull some value from this video. Get the Air 3 if you found it to be a great drone. And with all that being said, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or night, and peace out.